At a time when many people believed Babur's story was over, he was actually going through the most difficult days of his life. He had no great kingdom left, no large army, and none of the wealth that once defined his family. But there was still one thing alive in his heart, a powerful desire to rise again. During these days, Babur often had to move from one place to another because his enemies were spread everywhere. Many powerful rulers did not want this young prince of the Timurid family to regain his strength and influence. But instead of surrendering to circumstances, Babur began observing the people around him very carefully. He wanted to understand who was truly loyal to him and who was only standing beside him for their own benefit. This was the period when Babur's personality began to change dramatically. He was no longer just a young prince. The hardships he faced were slowly transforming him into a wise, patient, and capable leader. With every passing day, Babur was learning new lessons. Sometimes about people, sometimes about warfare, and sometimes about the reality that winning a kingdom is often easier than holding on to it. During this difficult period, Babur found the support of a few loyal companions who refused to abandon him. These men would eventually become one of the greatest strengths behind his future success. Meanwhile, his enemies were convinced that Babur was finished forever. They believed that a young man who had lost both his kingdom and his dream city could never return to power again. But history often belongs to those people whom the world has already written off. Sometimes the greatest achievements come from those who appear to have nothing left. By now, Babur had become far more cautious than before. He understood that next time he would need more than battlefield victories. He needed a strong foundation that could not easily be taken away from him. And slowly, the situation began to change. Some tribal leaders and local chiefs started turning toward Babur once again because they saw something in this young man that was missing even in many powerful rulers. Babur could feel that fate was preparing to give him another opportunity, but he had no idea that the road ahead would prove even more difficult than every trial he had faced before. Because very soon, a political storm was going to rise across Central Asia, a storm that would not only affect Babur but would also change the destiny of the entire region. At that time, no one could imagine that Babur would soon face enemies whose names alone were enough to make even powerful rulers nervous. But Babur's greatest strength was that he never stepped back from hardship. Every defeat only made him stronger, and each setback prepared him for an even greater comeback. And now, a new chapter of Babur's life was about to begin. A chapter that would slowly lead him toward the destiny for which he would eventually be remembered throughout history.